What's up, everybody? Happy Horror Sunday. It's your boy Horror with Blaze with the second part of my Sci-fi media collection, part 2. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far. Hope everybody got to view one of their favorite or even a horror movie last night. So let's get started. First up on Sci-Fi Media Part 2, got Blade Runner. Great movie right here. Got in there anything good? If you haven't seen it, look up the trailer on YouTube. It might spark an interest. Second up, I got, it's like a B-rated, C-rated sci-fi movie, Apollo 18. It's pretty much filmed the whole movie through the space shuttle's surveillance and camera system. Great movie. Next up, and still factory sealed, I have it on Blu-ray, is Keanu Reeves in the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's another movie, every time I see it, whether it's the original or this remake, I go ahead and pick them up in any format. Next up, we got Device. The Invasion Has Begun. I haven't got to view this yet. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree on their 50% media clearance sale. Device. I got so much media that's still factory sealed because I got so much that I've been viewing as it is. Next up, we got The Rock did a good sci-fi movie, sci-fi horror, and that's Doom. Also stars Keith Urban and Richard Brake from Rob Zombie movies like Halloween 2, and he also appeared in 31, and he appeared in 3 from Hell. He played the, I guess it's sort of like a stepbrother, whatever he is. And then he got the bonus for it. Alright. When I say this name, you're already going to know what sci-fi movie I'm talking about. This one stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's the original Terminator. This one I got several different cases and covers and artwork and inserts and such. It's another movie I always pick up, whether I already have like 30, 40 of them. Let's check out the inside. Sometimes it has some cool... Oh, no inside art there. Alright, next up we have one of my favorite of the Terminator trilogy is Terminator 2. By far, hands down, my favorite Terminator movie. And my favorite sci-fi movie, horror soundtrack. It was also something I liked about this movie, and it had Guns N' Roses, which was, come on, they tore it up on the soundtrack. So yeah, plus I like when they put, classic metal or rock in any horror movie. Yeah, you basic discard. Next up, we got Terminator 3, Rise of Machines. When I watch this movie, I think of a first shooter game. on a game console. That's what this movie reminds me of. The action and everything, the way it was filmed, is definitely different than the other ones. Different than the first two. Next up, I still got a factory sealed. So there's a double feature, Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation, starring Christian Bale. That was another kick booty Terminator movie. Next up, Terminator franchise again. Terminator Dark Fate. Oh, this girl right here. Let's talk about some great action sequences. She stole the show in this movie. Bad booty. Next up, we got another Schwarzenegger, and that's gonna be The Running Man. Another one of my favorite sci-fi action movies. Very cool. I might even watch this today. See what this disc looks like. Not too shabby. Oh, I got it upside down, don't I? Hey, happy horror Sunday morning for me. Throw the slip cover on and move on to the next. Alright, so the next is an old classic TV show. Special effects in this show, due to the time that was put out, ain't too bad. But these days when you sit and watch it, you're like, man, it's some cheesy effects. But the show is, and a lot of you new horror fans and sci-fi horror fans and so forth may or may never heard of this television series. And that series is Lost in Space. And that's Season 2, Volume 1. I don't mind it. Late at night I put it on when I really don't... Not sure if I'm going to stay up for a whole movie. So I'll put on one of these shows that, like, you know, whether it be a sci-fi show, a comedy show. Most of the time at night, when I'm feeling worn and not sure if I want to put on a full movie and make myself stay awake, I'll put on Big Bang Theory and or one of my favorite series, Trailer Park Boys. I know, I'm horror with Blaze, but sometimes I gotta give myself a little bit of break from the horror overload to my brain. So I'll watch some comedy shows. I just gave him out. Robot. Oh, the young buck is always getting into stuff with the robot. Got the parents. And you got my favorite, the scientist slash nutcase. Very cool though. It's almost like Star Trek. You know, the effects and the costumes of the different aliens and life forms on other planets. Very cool. Like, look at this guy. Oh, we got over into this other one with the robot. Hey, you see cheesy special effects. There was one with a prospector. I think this is the one. He's traveling dimensions. He's not using a ship though. He's got some kind of like space age tool. Is how he does it. Forget what he's mining for, like some kind of rock or whatever it is. And he brings it back to where he's from. And sells it, you know, prospecting, hustling. Yeah, so we got... Next up I got, last and not least, is a movie that I never heard about. It's a sci-fi horror. It was put out by the same people who brought you Halloween, which is 2018. And they also brought the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's got to be one of the remakes. But when I went in to the dollar store, the first movie I seen at their sale was this, and I'm into motorcycles and like the Sons of Anarchy and stuff like that, those type of shows and movies and documentaries. So I said, what the heck, I'm gonna go pick this up. The Violent Kind. See, now you look at the front there, it looks like a biker movie, right? But they have this meeting at one of the young guys. Father used to be the president of this bike club, but his mother's birthday, and they go out to the house they have in the countryside, in the back roads, all of them. This is his best friend, homeboy, whatever you want to call him. And after the party, everybody leaves, and this young biker and his friends stay there. And these people show up and acting, these people seem like they're from the 50s or something. The way they dress, their hair, stupid sayings they're saying. And this movie goes from a biker movie into a sci-fi horror movie, just like that. There's a lot of, I should say, there's a lot of profanity. There's nude scenes. Definitely a good amount of violence. I'm not gonna ruin the plot point, because at the end you'll be like, wow, all right, that was a wild movie. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, check out the trailers on YouTube and go from there. If you're into biker movies, you'll like this because it has that Pacific sci-fi horror twist to it. Once again, the name is The Violent Kind. So I'm gonna end it on this note. I just may be doing my home sci-fi collection part 3 because I do have a bunch of other sci-fi. I gotta dig out my store stock. Once again, have a safe and productive Horror Sunday. I'll be back at you sometime today with some more videos. Once again, keep it horror.